But at first, I'm John Bachman with the Newsmax Now update. Officials are still investigating that Air Force fighter jet crash that happened in Western Virginia earlier today. According to the military, that jet was on a standard training exercise. Officials say the pilot reported an in-flight emergency shortly before losing radio contact. A local sheriff's dispatcher in Virginia says she received reports of an explosion-like noise just before 9 o'clock this morning. Authorities have located the crash site, but there are still no reports about the pilot. And the mother of the American journalist being held captive by Islamic radicals in Syria is making a direct plea to ISIS. Shirley Sotloff released a video earlier today via the New York Times.
As a mother, I ask your justice to be merciful and not punish my son for matters he has no control over. I ask you to use your authority to spare his life.
Well, Ms. Sotloff urged ISIS leaders to return her son as fast as they can. Her son was also seen in that execution video of American journalist James Foley. And today we have more info about another American being held by ISIS. This woman has been identified as a 26-year-old who was kidnapped a year ago while doing humanitarian work in Syria. ISIS has reportedly demanded $6.6 million for her release. Also today, Theo Curtis was held captive for nearly 2 years by Syrian militants, is now back home in Boston. Today, he briefly spoke with members of the media.
I have to bond with my mother and my family now, and I can't give you an interview, and I can't give you a talk back and forth.
Well, Curtis, who is a reporter, you can understand his emotional state there and why he doesn't want to go into it right now. He also thanked everyone involved in negotiating his release. And President Obama is set to sidestep Congress with new executive action and sign a multinational UN agreement which could also require American businesses and foreign countries to adopt new environmental policies and regulations. But the plan for these sweeping changes on climate change may never come to fruition. The UN portion of that plan would require approval from 2/3 of the U.S. Senate. Also, international opposition is currently mounting as well.
I believe that carbon taxes and emissions trading schemes are the wrong way to go.
Well, that was Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott there. In the meantime, a UN report that was released yesterday says the effects of climate change will be severe, pervasive, and irreversible if nothing changes soon. In the Persian Gulf, the tension there is ramping up after an international incident today. A U.S. Coast Guard cutter was forced to fire a warning shot at an Iranian sailboat. The crew of that Iranian ship pointed a machine gun at the cutter, similar to the one you see here in this video. The Coast Guard ship also sent a smaller boat to deal with the folks who were on board that Iranian sailboat. Well, more news coming up in just about 30 minutes. For now, I'm John Bachman. We'll send it back to Midpoint.